Hi and welcome everyone, I'm Friar Tuck, and this is this week's Ask Tuck session. And so the first question that was asked is, what is the worst experience I've ever had while being homeless? Being homeless is kind of a horrible experience to begin with, but I would say probably the worst experience that really affected my life was when I was in San Antonio. I ended up getting picked up by a religious cult of holy rollers that would if a man looked at a woman, you would get beat. If a woman looked at a man, you would get beat. If you didn't holy roll, you would get beat. They would strip you of everything that you had, and then they would take the homeless and put them out there panhandling to be able to raise money for this cult under the 501c3 umbrella. And you can actually see these people around like San Antonio and Dallas. It's really big here in Texas. At least it used to be. So that is probably my worst experience because when I went in there, they stripped me of everything. They threw away certain things that were very important to me because it didn't mesh with their ideology. And then just being forced to holy roll and stuff like that, it really wasn't my thing. But I would say overall, that is probably one of my worst experiences. Is just with the religious cults of the South. So the second question that was asked is, what is the best experience that I've had as a homeless? And so I know you guys see this in the background. We've been on the bus for a couple days. We're on our way to Arizona. As you can see, the roads don't get taken care of. But as far as like the best experience, I would say being homeless would be starting my YouTube channel. The experience that I've had has been life changing. It's changed my view on certain things within being homeless because I get to talk to the homeless community. I thought that I was probably a rare anomaly to be somebody who didn't have a drug addiction, criminal record, or mental health issue, and yet I was still chronically homeless for about 25 years. Now there is one thing that works against me, which is brain damage, which is actually technically those that are chronically homeless generally suffer from some sort of like brain issue, at least from the statistics that I've heard. And that's about 10% of the homeless population. But I would say as far as the overall experience that I've had, I have people that are coming around me and supporting me. For the first time since being homeless, I'm actually getting rewarded for doing the right thing versus, in a lot of ways I always felt penalized. Is one of the things that frustrated me the most. I have a nice group of people that are around me that make sure that not only am I taken care of, but my dog is taken care of. And because of everything that's going on, because of all the connections that I make, there's a possibility that when I get to where I'm going, I'm going to be housed pretty quick. And that's something that I would have never been able to do without having the connection of the digital marketplace, being in the digital economy. You can do this not just in YouTube, but you can do this with any social media platform or any part of the digital economy. It will be a life-changing event in a lot of ways because you're going to get to meet people that you never thought you would have met, and you're going to get to learn things that you really didn't know that you didn't know. And that's really why I enjoy this experience, is because I'm not only do I get to do this and get to meet with people and get to have these life-altering experiences, but I also get to find out that the world really does care about the homeless, especially those that are trying to do the right thing to get up on their feet and all that good stuff. Right now, just for you that are watching this, I'm supported by crowdfunding, which is memberships, and my tip jar, which is all down in the description. So don't forget to take a look at that if you'd like to contribute to the channel and kind of help me along in my journey. But that is generally my best experience. It's just being on YouTube. This has been. Uh, you can't really put words into it, and it changes your life in a very good way. So the last question that I was asked is, how important is it for me to have a stable place to be able to have a YouTube channel? And yes, I know that that's being directed at me, but I would like to be able to take it and kind of like, spread this out. How important is it for someone to have stable housing in order for them to be productive and to be able to get the things done that they need so that they can have a functional life, either returning to the workforce, getting all their issues settled, all those different things. There is an importance in stability. Now, I'm not a big fan of housing first because of various things. I'm not a big fan of housing first, but as I get to see, there are people out there that have the ability to be productive, and that's what housing first was intended for. And if you really really wanted to kind of start making some effective changes within the homeless community, you have to take those that have the ability to return to the workforce or to return to becoming participating members of society, because not all of us can. Either we're too broken or we've got other issues that we can't. So having that long-term stability goes into it, because in order to get a job, you have to have hygiene. In order to be able to go out and be as effective as you can, you have to have a stable place so that you can have your stuff stored, so that you can go out and run around town, look for jobs, meet and greet people, do whatever it is that you got to do. A house is, in one way, it can be considered recreational, in the sense that people look at it as just something nice to have, or just like it's a necessity, but it's kind of more like a luxury. Versus those of us that understand what it's like to live without the luxury of a house, but we also understand the benefits that come with it. Because like for me and my YouTube channel, getting on the move, walking 10 to 15 miles a day. Well, if I'm housed up, I don't have to do that. Okay, if I'm housed up, I have the ability to take care of myself, have time to really focus on my content, have a controlled environment where I can do editing and improve the overall quality of my videos. And how does that play out? Well, the cause and effect of all that is going to be a greater reach, more views, more income, and a better overall outcome. Because part of what I really want to do with this channel, like if I had a choice between effective change or to be able to make the money that I really would like to make, I would rather be poor and have effective change than have a lot of money and just kind of like take care of myself. Because that's kind of the goal that I started the channel with to begin with. But as far as being able to create that overall umbrella of reach and views and all that other stuff, this is how, having a stable housing makes a lot of it's very, very important. So I hope that this answered your guys' questions. I hope that you guys are able to glean something from this. And hey, it makes it a little bit easier. So I know Homeless Entrepreneur, because him and I were doing a collaboration, but he has his way of getting questions. If I get questions over here on my platform, the best place to get those questions, to get them answered the next week, would be in the comment section of this video, because I take a screenshot of it and then I save it for the next week when I'm ready. So anyways, guys, thanks for being here. You know how to help the channel. Everything's down in the description. Memberships and all that stuff is how I support myself through crowdfunding. And I'll see you in the next video.